healing of a bodily sickness. In the East, the close connection between physical health and psychological and spiritual health has long been recognized. In the modern West, the tendency has been to separate these dimensions of human existence. But today, the need to develop more holistic approaches is widely recognized. Even so, holistic Western medicine operates in terms of Western science and therefore our modern understanding of the body. It recognizes that such Eastern method as a culture are effective, but the recognition has not led to expanding its theory to explain this effectiveness. There are still different understandings of the body in its relation to mind and spirit in the globe. The goal of this track will be to work toward a comprehensive and inclusive understanding of a human healing as an embodied mind and spirit in the connection with the environment and also all different cultures and traditions and backgrounds. This obviously has implication for the instructions and professions involved. That's our track description. Now, I'm going to introduce healer Jaki Daniel, but this time computer going to do the job.
Jaki Daniels has been a natural healing arts practitioner in Calgary, Alberta, Canada for 27 years. Originally focusing on herbalism, master herbalist, aromatherapy, certified practitioner in classical Chinese medicine, 5-element healing, non-traditional instruction, she is currently one of the founding members of the Creating Mountain Institute, a collegial network of educators and practitioners whose motto is bridging the worlds of ancient and modern, art and science, energy and matter. She has written 2 books, Heeding the Call, A Personal Journey to the Sacred and the Medicine Path, a return to the healing ways of our indigenous ancestors. She divides her time between her busy healing practice 4 days per week, her teaching and training of other practitioners, her writing, and her community work as a spiritual elder. The root cause of illness is an imbalance in the life force of the living system that prevents the natural laws available to support inherent wellness from functioning at their peak. The ancient Chinese sages were masters at observing, understanding, and applying the laws of nature in a practical, complex, and effective system of healing. Yet, wherever we live on this planet, it is our ability to know our unique microenvironment, both internal and external, to be aware of the features and qualities of nature and its offerings of the complementary life force necessary to support health, and more, to engage in deep relationship with the living land, allowing it to inform, guide, and help us heal in ways that follow in the footprints of our indigenous ancestors. This level of supporting reciprocity requires the inherent skills and gifts of the medicine person, development and maintenance of community, a direct relationship with the land that supports life, and ritual and ceremony to strengthen the spirit and contribute a sense of joy, peace, meaning, and purpose. All of this is not only possible, it has the ability to offer more than the restoration of physical health by also creating a sense of wellness that radiates outward from the individual patient and creates ripple effects that extend into their family and community, and encourages ways of living that honor and respect the earth and all our relations. My proposed presentation would outline the method I have developed to create a practical, economical, effective, safe, non-invasive, and ecologically sustainable system of holistic medicine that reaches deep into the patient and supports their functioning on all levels: body, mind, emotion, and spirit. This combination of classical Chinese 5-element medicine with what I refer to as indigenous medicine, both requiring a deep understanding of the laws of nature and the process of healing as they are expressed in the living land on which people live, enables illness at any and all levels to be alleviated and a natural state of wellness to be restored.
Let's welcome Jaki Daniel.
Thank you so much for coming. I've never been introduced by a computer before. It's interesting. So I've had a healing practice for 27 years, but the work that I'm going to be talking about today began 17 years ago and has evolved over that time. Part of this system of medicine I was trained for the foundation, which is classical Chinese medicine, 5-element theory. It's a fascinating and effective system of medicine that is one of the oldest systems of medicine on the planet. And I want to talk about how I use the diagnostic skills and the theoretical foundation from 5-element healing work, combined with my own way, well, not my own, nature's way of treating illness, but my own developed method for the purposes of this presentation, which I have called indigenous medicine. So the indigenous medicine component speaks to our indigenous roots, all of our indigenous roots, the original peoples from which we're all derived. It's not just about our Aboriginal and Native people. It speaks to their ways of healing, though, through knowing the land on which they lived, through developing relationship with it in an intimate way, a spiritual way, that the land and the people worked in a reciprocal relationship with each other. The land offered what they needed to survive, and in turn, they were taken care of by the land. No part was compromised or exploited in that relationship. I chose this particular combination really fundamentally because it's what I use every day in my healing practice, but I also thought it was a very good fit with what Dr. Park described that this track was all about. So I'm going to break the talk into two different sections. I'm going to introduce 5-element healing, and we're going to learn about that, and then I'll introduce indigenous medicine and sort of how it all comes together. So 5-element healing is from the classical Chinese medicine. It's the original Chinese medicine. It was called the system of correspondences, and it was developed approximately 4,000 years ago. It's considered, along with Ayurvedic medicine from India, to be one of the oldest systems of medicine on the planet. And it's not similar to Ayurveda except in the full richness and extent through which it was developed. Both of them are quite complex and evolved over great periods of time. So one thing I need to articulate is that, I don't know about America, but in Canada, where I'm from, the system of Chinese medicine that is most dominant and that people are most aware of is TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine, which is actually an analytical approach to Chinese medicine, and the one that I'm going to describe is a relational approach. So they're different. They come from the same foundation, but TCM broke off and was developed for the Western world, and what I'm going to be talking about here was what was used and is still used in China today. Now you have to excuse me, I've actually never used one of these until this moment. So clearly, 5-element healing is based on the elements that we need to survive. And those elements exist both within us, inside of us, and all around us. By being so foundational, literally fire, water, earth, mineral, metal, wood, it goes to the very source, the very core of life, what we need to survive. We need the sun, we need water, we need minerals, we need these things. And within us, we need all of those things too. And so each person on the planet is a unique representative of those 5 elements within them. And how they relate to the elements outside of them is one of the ways that we'll talk about is used as a diagnostic tool. So this system of medicine is based on the laws of nature, particularly the changing phases of life outside, like the seasons, and the changing phases of life inside in terms of the ebb and flow of the meridian pathways within our bodies that each have a peak time within a 24-hour cycle. What distinguishes this system of medicine from most Western medicines is that it's based on the idea that life contains two important features: movement and energy. All living things move and have energy. This animating force, this animating life force energy that supports and influences the function of a living organism, the Chinese called Qi. Is that how you pronounce it, Dr. Park?
Yeah. In Korea, it's Ji, in Chinese, Ji.
Okay. So the 12 meridians within our body hold the animating force that moves through us on all levels. And it's all the levels that we experience ourselves on. So we have energy mentally, we have energy emotionally or lack of, we have energy spiritually to appreciate beauty and creativity and all those other important components in the world. So because we require energy and use energy for all of those things, when you work with a system of medicine that uses that animating force, the foundation of that energy, then it necessarily permeates all layers of our being. Well, there we go. So, held within that animating force, and this is really key, is an intelligence of function. We don't teach our bodies how to work. We are not conscious of how our bodies work. It does it all by itself. The Chinese believe that that intelligence of function was related to the Qi energy. When the Qi energy flowed and held a quality that served, then we would flow and we would have a quality to our health and to our life experience in general. So when we cut our finger, we don't know all the mechanisms that is involved in healing that cut, but it heals. When a woman grows a child and gives birth to a child, that's an amazingly complex biological process of which that woman has no conscious awareness of what is happening at any given moment other than feeling the life inside her grow. That intelligence of function is related to Qi. Qi brings that forward. And so restoring the full flow of Qi, say to a patient who is not digesting their food properly, it restores the ability for their stomach and digestive system to function. For someone whose bowels aren't working properly, it restores their ability for that to function. Without pills, without any other external physical agent. By restoring the full flow of Qi, you restore the intelligence that is inherent in a living system so that it moves towards wholeness. And it doesn't matter how long the person has been sick. I recently had a patient who had very distressed bowel situation that he had had for 23 years and had not been able to solve it. And probably a treatment every 2 weeks for 6 months, and it's completely normal again, with nothing else, just restoring the full flow of Qi. So, therefore, the way to improve health in all possible ways is to support the functionality in all ways. And to do that, the animating life force should flow as fully as possible and without any blocks or limitations. But it's not just about function that we're interested in. We want more than that. We want a quality of experience that makes life worth living. And so we need to also be able to discern in patients what is the quality of life that will serve their needs. And that quality of life, the piece that they're missing, that will also restore the function. And it just builds and builds and builds from there. So to discern that quality, we return to the basics, the 5 elements. Again, earth, air, fire, water, wood. Each person has a unique relationship with these elements that support their survival. And when a system goes out of balance and optimum function is compromised, there will be alarm signals to alert both the person and the doctor. The person will experience symptoms, and the trained doctor or specialist will be able to see the elemental signs that alert to where corrections are needed. These elemental signs are given to us directly from nature, and they signal, not the symptom, they signal the underlying elemental root cause that requires correction in order for function to be restored. In this system of medicine, 5-element healing, symptoms are not treated ever. They are the fire alarm that alerts the patient and the specialist that function has been compromised and steps need to be taken. We are not looking to turn off the fire alarm. We're looking to go to where the fire is and heal that directly. So, diagnosis of the root cause is based on the signs that nature provides to alert us. And there's 4 signs for each element, as you can see: color, odor, sound, and emotion.
Why there's no taste there?